Hi everyone, happy Hanukkah. My name is Morah. Today we're going to read a book called The Hanukkah Guest by Eric A. Kimmel. If you look at the front cover, who might that Hanukkah guest be? Let's read to see what happens. There's even a paw print on this cover page. Old Bear roused himself from his winter sleep. He yawned a gigantic yawn. Then he stretched himself all over. Finally, he poked his nose outside his den. Right, a den is where a bear lives and hibernates. A soft blanket of deep snow covered the ground. Spring was still many months away. Old Bear wrinkled his nose. What was that delicious smell? It smelled like something to eat, which reminded Old Bear that it had been months since he had eaten anything. Old Bear's empty stomach rumbled. He shook himself all over, then lumbered out of his den to follow the delicious smell. Bubba Bryna took the last potato latkes from the pan and put it in the oven with the others. The latkes would stay warm in there until her guests arrived. Bubba Bryna was 97 years old and did not hear or see as well as she used to, but she still made the best potato latkes in the village. Every year at Hanukkah time, all her friends made their way through the snow to her little house on the edge of the forest. How they loved those latkes. Bubba Bryna always made plenty. But tonight, on the first night of Hanukkah, she made twice as many as usual. Tonight was special. Tonight, the rabbi was coming. I even see that smell of the latkes leaving Bubba Bryna's house. I wonder who smells those latkes. Do you know who smells them? Bubba Bryna put on a clean apron and set the table. She filled a bowl with nuts for the dreidel game. Kitzel the cat rubbed against her ankles as she bustled around the kitchen. One last chore, the candles for the menorah. Bubba Bryna went to get them. Just then, she heard a knock at the door. It wasn't exactly a knock, more like a soft thumping. My guest must be early, Bubba Bryna said. She opened the door. The cat hissed and dived under the table. Why, Rabbi, how nice to see you, Bubba Bryna exclaimed. Rump, growled the old bear. And happy Hanukkah to you too. Please come in. Old Bear lumbered into the house. He shook the snow from his fur. Who does Bubba Bryna think the bear is? Does Bubba Bryna know that it's the bear at the door? She thinks it's the rabbi. Remember, Bubba Bryna can't see very well or hear very well. I'll take your coat, Rabbi. My, how thick it is! It must be very cold outside. Bubba Bryna tugged at Old Bear's fur. Grrr, Old Bear roared. Oh, you prefer to leave your coat on? Well, that's all right. It is a bit chilly in here. Come into the kitchen. I set the table for a lovely Hanukkah evening. Old Bear followed Bubba Bryna into the kitchen. The delicious smells made his nose twitch. Thank you, Rabbi. How kind of you to say that. The latkes will taste even better than they smell. Old Bear followed his nose to the oven. Rabbi, I'm surprised at you. You know we don't eat until we light the menorah. Grrr. That's all right. I know you were teasing. I'll light the candles. Will you say the blessings? Bubba Bryna struck a match and lit the shamash candle. She lit one for the first night. Old Bear mumbled and grumbled and growled. Oh, Rabbi, you say the blessings so beautifully. Bubba Bryna pulled out a chair. Old Bear sat down. Let's play dreidel. I have some nuts we can play with. Old Bear's nose twitched. He cracked a nut in his teeth. Rabbi, you won't have any nuts for the game if you eat them all. Growled Old Bear. Don't worry, I have more nuts if you need them. Bubba Bryna gave the dreidel a spin. Old Bear sniffed at the little top as it whirled around. It stopped on the letter Nun. Nothing. We spin again. Bubba Bryna spun the dreidel once more. This time it stopped on the letter Gimel. I win! Bubba Bryna swept the nuts into her apron. Roar! The old bear roared. think the bear is feeling pretty angry now. Don't be angry, Rabbi. It's only a game. Here. She tossed him a nut. Old Bear caught it in his paws, cracked it, and then begged for more. No, Rabbi. No more nuts. It's time for dinner. Old Bear snuffled and grumbled. Baba Brina opened the oven door and took out a platter piled high with steaming potato latkes. Old Bear's nose twitched as she set them on the table. I think it means he's getting excited for those latkes. Do you prefer your latkes with sour cream or jam? Oh, the old bear growled. Jam. I thought so. Baba Brina smeared 5 big latkes with jam. Old Bear ate and ate until all the latkes were gone. He licked jam and sour cream from his muzzle and his paws. Then Old Bear began to feel drowsy. That's like sleepy. He yawned. His great head flopped on Baba Brina's lap. Rabbi, you're sleepy. Who wouldn't be after such a meal? All the latkes are gone, and it's time to go home. But before you leave, I have a Chanukkah present for you. Baba Brina took out a red woolen scarf from the cupboard. She wrapped it around Old Bear's neck. This scarf will keep you warm on the coldest nights. I knitted it myself. Grrr, Old Bear licked Baba Brina's face. Baba Brina blushed. Oh, Rabbi, at my age? And Old Bear shuffled to the door. It was time to return to his den. He felt very sleepy. Rump, he growled as he ambled off into the night. He turned around one more time before disappearing into the forest. Rump, good night to you too, Rabbi. Happy Hanukkah. And here you see Old Bear going back to his den after a nice Hanukkah meal. Baba Brina has no idea that the bear came. But the story's not over. Baba Brina was washing the dishes when she heard another knock. I wonder who that is. Shalom, Baba Brina. Her friends and neighbors stood at the door, wishing her a happy Hanukkah. Shalom, everybody, Baba Brina cried. How nice to see you. Please come in. I'm sorry I don't have any more latkes. The rabbi came. He ate them all. Uh-oh. The rabbi didn't come. Baba Brina, don't you recognize me? It was the rabbi. The rabbi couldn't have eaten the latkes, everyone said. He was in the synagogue with us the whole time. Baba Brina scratched her head in bewilderment, like she's kind of confused. Something strange is happening here. I think there is an imposter going around. He looks like you. He talks like you. He even has your beard. Just then, Esther and David, Baba Brina's 2 grandchildren, cried and said, Come look! Everyone ran to the kitchen to see what was wrong. They found the floor covered with bear tracks. A bear? And I thought it was the rabbi. Baba Brina had to sit down. Soon she began to giggle. That was a very clever bear, or a very foolish Baba Brina. Ah, well, let the bear have a happy Hanukkah. I had a happy Hanukkah too. And so will you, my dear friends. David, go bring me some potatoes up from the cellar. Esther, get my grater and bowl. Everybody has to help. You too, Rabbi. But I promise there will soon be latkes for everyone. Deep in the forest, Old Bear slumbered in his den. His stomach was full of potato latkes. The warm woolen scarf was wrapped snugly around his neck. Pleasant dreams, Old Bear, and happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the story.